He was my best friend, the son of a powerful CEO. We studied together, laughed together, and once dreamed like we were brothers. But the moment I started winning, the friendship changed. He didn't see me as his friend anymore. He saw me as competition. And when I needed him most, he turned into my biggest bully. He told me I'd never be a leader, that I'd always be his shadow. But years later, when the company his father built needed saving, I became the one sitting in the CEO's chair, while he stood outside the boardroom, powerless. Before everything changed, before the boardroom, before the title of CEO, there was just me and Liam, my best friend. Two boys from completely different worlds, somehow believing we were equal. I didn't know back then that money, pride, and jealousy would turn my closest friend into my biggest enemy. I grew up in a modest home. My parents were teachers, hardworking but never wealthy. My best friend Liam, on the other hand, had everything: mansions, cars, private tutors. His father, Richard Hale, owned Hale Enterprises, one of the most influential companies in the city. Despite the difference, Liam and I clicked as kids. We played soccer in his backyard, studied together, even shared secrets. Richard often smiled at me, saying,
"You've got discipline, Ethan. Stick close to Liam. You'll learn a lot."
Things changed in high school. Teachers noticed I worked harder, often outperforming Liam in grades. When I got first place in a business competition, our teacher said,
"Ethan, you have natural leadership. You'll go far one day."
Liam's smile faded. Later he muttered under his breath,
"Don't get used to it. Leaders aren't born from poor families."
It stung, but I brushed it off, thinking it was jealousy. As years passed, the cracks widened. In college, we both studied business management. I worked jobs on the side to pay tuition, while Liam partied with his father's money. One day, I overheard him with his friends.
Ethan thinks he's going to run a company one day. He doesn't get it. People like him take orders. People like me give them.
His friends laughed. Later, when I confronted him, he shrugged.
I'm just being honest, Ethan. You'll never be a leader. You're my sidekick, that's all.
That day, our friendship ended. After graduation, Liam walked straight into Hale Enterprises as a senior manager, his father's influence paving the way. I, meanwhile, started at the bottom in another company, running errands and making coffee. But I was determined. I stayed late, learned every detail, studied every report. While others clocked out at 5, I worked till midnight. Slowly, promotions came. Junior analyst, senior analyst, project manager. By 28, I was leading my own department through sheer grit. One afternoon, I got a call from Richard Hale himself.
"Ethan, I've been watching your progress. Hale Enterprises is struggling. Liam, well, let's just say he hasn't grown into the leader I hoped. I'd like you to join us."
Shock hit me. The same company Liam mocked me from was now calling me in. I accepted. When I walked into the building, Liam's face turned red.
What are you doing here?
"Your father invited me."
From that moment, he treated me like an enemy. He sabotaged my projects, spread rumors, even tried to humiliate me in meetings. But Richard wasn't blind. He saw Liam's arrogance and my results. Years later, Richard grew ill. Rumors of succession spread. Everyone assumed Liam would take over. But at a critical board meeting, Richard announced,
"I've built this empire with sweat and sacrifice. Leadership isn't inherited, it's earned. Liam, Ethan, prove who deserves to lead Hale Enterprises."
It was a challenge. We were each tasked with running a division for 6 months. Whoever grew profits, stabilized staff, and innovated best would be named the next CEO. Liam used money to throw flashy campaigns, but his arrogance alienated employees. Departments collapsed under his reckless spending. I, on the other hand, focused on people. I spoke to workers at every level, listened to their struggles, cut unnecessary costs, and invested in morale. Productivity soared. Profits rose steadily. By the end of 6 months, the difference was undeniable. Profits rose steadily. While Liam demanded control, I earned trust. While he chased attention, I focused on stability. And slowly, the difference between us became impossible to ignore. At the final board presentation, Liam's numbers showed losses. Mine showed growth. Richard looked at both of us, pride in his eyes. Not for Liam, but for me.
The choice is clear. The new CEO of Hale Enterprises is Ethan Carter.
You can't do this! I'm your son!
You had every advantage, Liam. But leadership isn't about entitlement. It's about responsibility. Ethan has proven that.
The board applauded. Liam stormed out. That day, the boy who once mocked me stood defeated, while I sat in the chair he thought was his birthright.
He said I'd never be a leader, that I'd always be his shadow. But shadows don't rise. Leaders do.
And in the end, I didn't just prove him wrong. I proved that hard work can go farther than privilege ever will. I became the CEO his father, and the company deserved. The boy he once looked down on became the man who saved everything he took for granted.